Hello, everybody. Welcome to Damaged Clay. My name is Robert, and today's video is going to be a kind of a compilation of a lot of different things that's happened over the past 24 hours, but also about some revelation that I've received. But not only that, I think subsequently what it all boils down to is when you have no one but God. I think that's more or less the sum of what I'm kind of feeling, to be quite honest. And the reason for that is whenever you try to help people and they don't want to listen, and you've given them solid scriptural foundation, and you say, God has told me that this is something that you need to listen to, but they don't want to listen. What do? Because apparently all they see is your past, but they don't see where God's taking you, because God's not, their hand isn't in their life like that is mine, for instance. So what I'm talking about is, let's see if I can clear this up a little bit better for y'all. Yesterday, God revealed to me about my ex-wife, and she's now living in a travel trailer. She was divorced and she was blindsided. I virtually lost everything except for the stuff that she brought into the marriage. And then she was awarded a few things that all has debt, meaning that they have to be paid. All right, well, one thing's already been repossessed. And then subsequently her ex, that the courts awarded her, but because it's in her ex-husband's name, he went and made the payments on it and is now hiding it. All right, that's just a little taste. But months ago, I kept trying to warn her about him, what she's dealing with. She would not listen to me. And this whole time, months later, there's one thing she keeps saying: I'm believing in God to do something. All through the Bible, whenever God is going to do something, He requires something from us. He's just not going to just do it, because then that makes lazy faith. All right? You have to pray for it. You have to believe for it. You have to ask God for it. Okay? But faith is hope of things unseen. But it got me to thinking and reflecting. And I'm almost very hesitant about saying anything. Because what she's going through now is what I went through with my divorce 10 years ago. I lost everything. I'd put everything in storage. I didn't have any help to help me move. I literally had to move by myself. Everything. Nobody helped me. I mean, I had no help whatsoever. Nothing. I found myself more or less homeless, sleeping on her parents' floor from my divorced wife. For I had to come back down here to Texas and stay with my parents, which was a year of misery. Misery. And I subsequently ended up marrying someone just to get live with them, or actually moving in with someone, to get out of my predicament. I went from one bad to another bad to another bad. I made 3 bad decisions. And then I would end up marrying the fool that I moved in with. That was a mistake. But through all that time, I've learned now, since my ex-husband's been gone, of how to live alone. Having faith alone. Not relying upon anybody to get me through. But then God revealed to me last night that He took her back to whenever we first started. And we were living in a travel trailer after we got married in southern Missouri. See, her parents lost their job. She lost hers as subsequently because she worked for them. It was a hostile takeover of an apartment building. Left everything and moved. I had no place to go. Literally no place to go. I'm still trying to figure that one out. It just kind of hit me. Why they even took me with them. I don't know. I had no place to go. But subsequently, because of them, I'd end up getting into church. Years later. But looking back on that whole situation, there was times we would go through some horrible dry spells with finances. I mean, it was tough. God would always bless me with jobs, but my ex-wife would say, no, you can make more money on unemployment. This was never God's will, as it was just revealed to me. But then I'd get really good jobs. God would bless us. But then subsequently, I came out as being gay. Whenever I got up off my knees praying, I turned away from Jesus and went started chasing a lifestyle that was I never should have had anything to do with at all. 14 years later, I'd come back to Christ. But during that 14 years, it's been tough. I'm not even going to lie. It's been difficult, but some way, somehow, I've always prevailed. Always prevailed. God's always been with me. His hand, His mercy has always been with me. I was backslidden, but He never forsook me. But then as I was texting my ex-wife last night, telling her about this, she goes, well, God's given me a trailer that you have to make payments on. It's not paid off. But she never saw the fact, too, that she had 6 weeks to do something. And she did nothing. She did nothing to prepare for the storm that was coming. The only thing that she kept saying was, I'm believing for God to do something. What are you believing for Him to do? I mean, you believed Him to save your marriage and you was out cheating yourself. Sleeping with another man. Committing adultery. Doing the exact same thing that you got upset with him about 2 years prior. Which is where all your problems started out. But then God's doing to her exactly what happened to me whenever I went into court one way and I came out crying. I'd lost everything. But during that time, that season, I went through a lot. A lot during that time. 11 years now we've been divorced. And I've endured. God's been with me. But I had to get out of Illinois. Illinois was a struggle. It was, God always took me to other states for prosperity. Now I know why. And I'm going to keep that to myself. But now I see it. All I've ever had is just God. All I have ever had was just God. I've never had, over the past however many years, anything. Even whenever I was backslidden, God was always there for me. He always blessed me. Now I understand. My ex-wife's got a long road ahead of her, but she won't listen. She won't see the fact that she has 2 kids to worry about. Yeah, Kayla's almost 21, but still. What's she going to do? She's 21. She's relying upon her kid to help get her through. Her other kid. What do you do? What do you do? She won't listen to reason. She keeps this game with her ex-husband like they're high school kids. At least today was a learning lesson for me because my faith was weak. Was very weak. Because I was looking at the facts of my rides instead of being blessed. I fell for the trap of the enemy. I learned my lesson. But God, since I've been sitting here home, God's revealed quite a few more things to me. Just like He did yesterday. And I'm blessed. But I'm glad I'm no longer in the situations that I was in before. God's taken me to new areas in my life. He's going to do great things with me. And those that tried to form weapons against me that seemed like they prospered, but they really didn't. They took me away from bad areas. And I had to come out as being gay to learn a few things so that my eyes could be opened. What do you do when all you got's God? Because God's going to use my life in mighty ways. Because there's a story there to tell. And I just hope each and every one of y'all will tune in every time and watch the videos. That as I start to reveal a little bit more about my life, that y'all might see and understand. That God can use anybody to further His kingdom. He's proven it time and again. Throughout the Bible, throughout the scriptures. He will literally use anybody. So y'all be blessed. Like my channel. Share. And if I've had an impact, let me know. Thank y'all.